Hello and welcome to my review on the brand new 2024 20-foot Colossal Penguin Inflatable from Gemmy. This has begun arriving at various at-home locations, though isn't available online just yet, and retails for $199.99. To quote many Halloween lovers right now, yes, this is very early, but I still felt like a video would benefit those who like to get ahead on their holiday planning, like myself, so this one's for you and me. Getting into the features, those include 5C7 lights, an especially large Santa hat atop a plump figure, and other characteristics to be pointed out later. Now for a brief bit of history, some will recall the release of Gemmy's first ever 20-foot inflatables back in 2018, which were carried by none other than At Home. Since then, anticipation of a penguin joining their Colossal Christmas assortment only grew as time went on, and in 2024, that wait is officially over. We'll determine if 6 years was worth it or not in the coming moments, so let's get our new fella unboxed and dive headfirst into another gargantuan design. Equipped with the mere YF60, it's definitely disappointing that after all this time, we're still putting the weakest base fan on 20-foot inflatables. It's only done to save cost, which ironically comes at the expense of the buyer. We'll see later how exactly this small motor treats our penguin, but first to take a look at the stake pack, provided are 3 giant spiral stakes used for anchoring this into the ground, followed by 4 plastic ones, some thicker rope tethers, and 4 metal base stakes. If ever there was a time to throw these guys in the garbage, now is that time. 20-footers really make their base fans want to lift when they're inflating, so they need something strong to hold it down. My go-to alternative is actually Gemmy's old Colossal base stake, just a thick sod staple. Why they stopped making them, I have no clue. Next, the 3 giant spiral stakes correspond to tether attachments on the bottom. Their locations form a triangle, with one being in between the 2 feet and the other 2 on either side of the fan. I've grown fond of the mini spiral stakes because they're easy to get completely in and out of the ground, yet when up to this scale, I found their quality isn't sufficient to twist all the way in without bending, which is why I've opted for more of the large plastic stakes in this case. There's still one more thing to mention regarding the tie downs, but I think it's best to wait till this is inflated, so let's get on to that. Taking a whopping 10 minutes to inflate, I often joke when an inflatable takes that long, it simply allows you time to tend to everything else in your Christmas display before it even be halfway standing, but that doesn't change the fact that this is paired with the wrong fan. For the most part, it is the store who decides what fan to put on their inflatables. However, there are minimum requirements for features like animation, kaleidoscopes, and snow pellets, though because this has none of those, that's how they can get away with such a small motor. If you end up being impressed with this design in other areas, specifically enough to constitute putting some extra funds towards it, you could always purchase a stronger blower through Yard Inflatables, but that is a personal decision, and unfortunate that it's even being brought up. I said earlier there was something else I needed to discuss in reference to the stakes, and as you can see, there are 4 tether attachments opposed to 2, which while it isn't the first time Gemmy's done this for a 20-footer, it doesn't happen often, hence why I waited so I could emphasize it more. Penguins, as we know, can't fly, but if this isn't staked down properly, yours just might. Take extra care so those tethers are taut, and make sure this is staked down at every available point, because this is one big bird. You may have caught during the unboxing, Gemmy has added some sort of pink slip with their packaging, and it's actually a wind warning that touches on the vulnerability of the seams and tether attachments, of which I've had rip out from Colossal inflatables before, so I would not have this up in anything more than a light breeze. Moving on to the visual elements, I have to be honest and say when I first saw this, my immediate reaction was how heavily this resembles a Russian nesting doll, maybe even a bowling pin, although its figure I think leans more towards the doll. The face even has some similarity, so I apologize if that's now the only thing you see when looking at this. Another visual standout is certainly the huge and perhaps too prominent Santa hat that this adorns. One could argue the penguin itself should be much bigger and that the hat kind of takes away, but I do believe it was done to pair with the other 20-footers who also sport large hats. To discuss zippers, since I've yet to talk about them thus far, you do get two of them. One is located on the right side of the fan, though some distance away from it, and the second is a bit higher up on the left side, which isn't as big, but certainly better than only having one. The benefit of two openings is you're not relying on one area to access the lights inside. I do, however, wish the bonus zipper, as we'll call it, was closer to the top of the inflatable so you could replace those upper bulbs without having to crawl inside or tug on the light strand. For my final topic, despite the YEF60, it has the front of it and or the belly inflating fairly well. The same cannot be said for the feet or wings due to small air passages, but to be able to find something positive about how this inflates is for sure great and even more surprising. And that will conclude my review on the all-new 2024 20-foot tall penguin from Gemmy. I don't know how popular it's going to be this season, especially when compared to the other Giants in At Home's lineup, and also that bombshell that dropped over the weekend. I can recommend it up to a point, although I'll be honest, it's not one of my favorites. Anyways, guys, until next time, I'll see you later. Peace out. Bye.